Constitutional provisions. The Constitution does not lay down a permanent or comprehensive provision relating to citizenship in India. Part 2 of the Constitution simply describes classes of persons who would be deemed to be the citizens of India at the commencement of the Constitution, the 26th January 1950, and leaves the entire law of the citizenship to be regulated by law made by Parliament. Article 11 expressly confers power on Parliament to make laws to provide for such matters. In exercise of its power, the Parliament has enacted the Indian Citizenship Act 1955. This act provides for the acquisition and termination of citizenship subsequent to the commencement of the Constitution. Citizenship by domicile. Citizenship of immigrants from Pakistan. Citizenship of migrants to Pakistan. Citizenship of Indians abroad. Citizenship by domicile. According to Article 5, a person is entitled to citizenship by domicile if he fulfills the following two conditions. Firstly, he must at the commencement of the Constitution have his domicile in the territory of India. Secondly, such person must fulfill any one of the three conditions laid down in that article, namely, he was born in India, either of his parent was born in India, he must have been ordinarily resident in the territory of India for not less than 5 years immediately before the commencement of the Constitution. Domicile in India is considered an essential requirement for acquiring the status of Indian citizenship, but the term domicile is not defined in the Constitution. The domicile of a person is in that country in which he either has or is deemed by law to have his permanent house. There is distinction between domicile and residence. Residence alone in a place is not sufficient to constitute the domicile. It must be accompanied by the intention to make it his permanent home. But it is basically a legal concept for the purpose of determining what is the personal law acceptable to an individual, and even if an individual has no permanent home, he is invested with a domicile by law. There are two main classes of domicile: domicile of origin and domicile of choice. While the former attaches to the individual by birth, the latter is acquired by resident in territory subject to a distinctive legal system with the intention to reside there permanently. In Pradeep Jain versus Union of India, the Supreme Court has held that in India, Article 5 recognizes only one domicile of India. It does not recognize the notion of a state domicile when a person who is permanently resident in one state goes to another state with intention to reside there permanently or indefinitely.